Wow, this is Big Mass sitting here for IAmHipHop with the big man himself, Big Manny. How you feeling, my brother?
Yes, Big Mass. I'm doing all good, man. How are you?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. Celebrating goodness, you know. When I see what you're doing, it's very inspiring, you know. Because growing up in my age, we don't get to see you representing science like that. Us on TV like this representing science, it's unheard of. What's your inspiration into it?
You know what? Yeah, like from when I was young, when I was a little child,
Mhm.
I was like really inquisitive. I had a lot of questions, and to give you a sense of the kind of kid I was, yeah, I would do things like open up my toys just to see what's inside it. If I had a little like toy car, want to see how it works. You know what I mean? What makes it go? And along the journey, when I got a bit older, yeah, when I was in year 8, I had a science teacher called Mr. Carter. And he was like a really engaging and passionate science teacher. Like when he was teaching, his face would light up. You could literally see the excitement. You know what I mean? And he passed that same excitement for science onto me. And I'm trying to do the same thing for the younger generation now. Get them excited about it the same way my teaching did for me.
Yeah, it's good because I remember the days of putting up the Bunsen burner. We all love the practical side of it, but the theory is usually what got to us. And sometimes I believe it's because the language wasn't 100% relevant to how we speak, you know? So in reading your book, I see you're keeping it to the roads, so to speak, with the language.
Yeah, man.
Which brings that familiarity, you know? When, I can imagine your parents must have been mad. You mashing up all of them toys there, you get me? I just bought you that car. It's alright, mum, experiment, but it's brought you here now, you know? So with the release of the book, what was the influence you want to have on this generation here?
Well, do you know what, yeah? Basically, you see the way I narrate my videos, I use quite like colloquial terms. You might see me saying things like in it, wagwan, done know. And I find that using that kind of language, yeah, it breaks down the barrier between the teacher and the student. And it makes the student more likely to take in the information because it's like you're hearing it from a peer or like a friend, as opposed to an authoritative figure. And students are more receptive to that when it's coming from a similar level to them. So yeah, man, that's why I use that language in there.
And language is important because right now that I believe if you don't inspire them, they don't really listen to the elders anymore like they do their peers, you know? So coming from your demographic and age is perfect because they get to understand it in a way that they loved, you know?
Yeah.
What was like one big moment that made you say, nah, this is me?
Do you know what, yeah, like from the start, when I first dropped the videos, they started going viral. You know what I mean? From the first video that I dropped, it was an experiment called the squeaky pop test, testing for hydrogen gas.
Okay.
And then like, I got loads of comments from students saying like, oh, I remember I'd done this with my teacher in class last week. So it was something that they could like relate to. So I think like that's one of the reasons why it went so viral like that.
Okay, that was throughout the COVID times, right?
Yeah. That was during COVID, yeah.
Which must have been nice getting that influence around that time because there's all eyes on you as well.
Yeah. And the COVID, that's actually one of the reasons why I started to make the videos in the first place. Because obviously, like, as we all know, there was a lot of school closures. So students, they were having a lot of Google classrooms, Zoom classrooms. And science is a thing where you can't just expect to open up a book and learn everything. You need to see the experiment, you need to see the fizzing, the bubbling, the colour change, the fire. Because when you see all of that, yeah, you're going to be more likely to remember the information as opposed to if you just read it.
100%. Because you get the marvel of it, you know? Sometimes if you don't see the explosion or the fizz and you just read it, it's not relevant.
Yeah,
you know?
It doesn't bring it to life. You know what I mean?
Like a firework wouldn't be a firework unless you see it bust, you know what I mean?
And you hear that bang.
Yeah, so
Trust me.
I totally get that.
Yeah, man.
Alright, so if I was to think, where's Big Manny in the next 10 years? Where would you take this?
The way that I view myself, yeah, I see myself as a science communicator. So you see, you got guys like David Attenborough. He's going into biology, telling you about habitats, how the different environments, how the animals interact with each other. Very biology based. We've got a man like Sir Brian Cox talking about physics, you know what I mean? Stars, solar systems, all them kind of things. So I want to do that for chemistry. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because I think it's important that science is shown to people in a way where like they can learn how it applies to their everyday life. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, that's what I want to do. I want to break it down and make it digestible, so that people can just easily understand science.
If you could tell me one big scientist who you follow that in the world of chemistry that you believe kids and so forth should tap into, who would it be?
I would say look up a scientist called James Andrew Harris. He was a Black American scientist,
Nice.
and we don't really hear much about him. We don't hear
Of course.
much about him in schools, but yeah, he was involved in the discovery of two elements 104 and 105, and the reason why I'm saying this here is because it's important. Representation is important. When young kids see that, wow, that scientist looks like me, he comes from a background like me, he talks like me. When they see that, they're gonna think like, if he can become a scientist, then why can't I? You know what I mean? But if you don't see any scientists that look like you, then you're gonna think that science is exclusive. You can't be included in that. You know what I mean? So that's why I want to show people a different face of science.
Nice. I also hear you do bars. You're a rapper, man. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Do you bring the science into the raps?
Yeah. I made a couple tunes where I talk about the science and that, and like combine the two, because obviously, music is powerful. You can have a song playing in your head all day and you're just remembering the lyrics just going around in your head. Imagine if what's going around in your head is science knowledge about
Spit elements.
You know what I'm saying? You're sitting in an exam, and all you've got is this song playing of the periodic table, the elements. You know what I mean? So music is a powerful tool that we can use for learning if you use it in the right way.
I agree.
So that's why I decided to combine the two, man, so that we can teach even more effectively.
So the next release is going to be the book with the CD, yeah?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah? You know
I totally understand.
The mixtape with the book and
That makes sense, you know? People will tap in, you know?
Yeah, man.
Alright, that's a good pathway you're making, and what you're doing is highly inspirational, brother, you know? I sit here, I watch it, I'm like, I couldn't tell you much scientists in that off the brain that are black, but then I could tell
That says a
you,
lot.
trust me,
That
you
says a
know?
lot.
Like lately, the only faces
can
we
read
get
off
is
Einstein.
that DeGrasse dude, or we get the actor turned I Solved the World, Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
So we get these faces, but when I even Googled top 10 scientific people in the world, there was no one black in that list, you know? So it's nice to have the influence, especially knowing we did so much creations like the open hearted surgery that no one ever talks about, to the invention of the traffic light, you know?
Yeah.
Simple things. So it's
So
nice
many.
to see you in this position, you know? And when's the music coming out?
You know what? I'm working on a track right now. I've got the tune recorded, everything done. So it's just to shoot the video now, isn't it?
Just to shoot the vids, yeah?
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna shoot the video, and I'm gonna drop that like probably August, September times.
Nice.
Yeah.
And as the book release, you got a good rollout going on?
Yeah, man. So obviously the official publication date is the 8th of August.
Amazing.
So on the 8th, you're gonna be able to buy it on Amazon Books. You can pre-order it now on Amazon actually.
Which I believe they should, because I've read this and this is good stuff, man. You've done it well, because I know what I could trust the youth to do with it, you know?
Yeah.
I said, no, pick this glove, because if you go for the red things, I'm not around. It could get messy, you know?
Yeah.
So
And that's the thing, man. Like the experiments in there, I made it accessible. So it's things that you could easily get from a supermarket, get it from your local shop. You know what I mean? So I want it to be a thing where kids can easily do this, like accessible for anyone, regardless of your background, where you come from, where you grew up, what language you speak. You can still find some experiments in there that you can do at home and have fun.
definitely, especially in these times, if you're doing homeschooling, this is great, you know, because it's a very small, digestible way for a parent to do things with their child in the field of science, you know. So, like, commendations on what you're doing, brother, you know.
Thank you, man.
Right, we could talk all day on this, but I want people to see your flowers. I want you to get your flowers, brother. I made them know how they can find you, because I know it's Big Manny everywhere right now.
Yeah. Yeah, so my TikTok and Instagram profile is big.manny1.
Big
Yeah.
Dot Manny one to the world, yeah. So
Yes.
everybody tap that in, follow the movement because we need this in our expression. It's not just hip hop, basketball, and everything there. We could be scientists too, yeah, and that's powerful. So salute from IAmHipHop to you, Big Manny,
Salute, man.
and I wish you the best, brother. I wish you the best.
Thank
yeah,
you for having me, man.
blessing, my brother. Nice.